Reunion Island is a small island that is a French territory, and it is off the coast of Madagascar. Madagascar itself is an island off the coast of East Africa. It's in the Indian Ocean, and it's very small, 2,500 square kilometers. To give an example, Lebanon is a small country, and Lebanon here, right here, is 10,800 square kilometers. So this is basically about one-fifth, about one-fifth the size of Lebanon. So it's very small, but it has very well-constructed houses. On February the 28th, what happened was a cyclone hit the island, February the 28th, right before, I don't know if it was the same storm system that went to Australia or not. So this is Reunion Island. This was the path of the storm on February the 28th. The remarkable thing about this island is that it is well prepared. They knew about the storm ahead of time, because I believe cyclones are detected by their weather systems, and so it wasn't a surprise. But if the house isn't solid, whether it's a surprise or not, then there would be damage. So the winds ranged from about, well, let me see, where are the range of winds? 234 kilometers an hour, 213 kilometers an hour, 199 kilometers an hour. So we can safely say that the winds were in excess of 200 kilometers an hour. Now, 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. So winds of 200 kilometers an hour are approximately 125, 124 mile an hour winds. And the house whose picture I'm going to show is located in this area right here. So it's in an area that had pretty high winds. Let me see if I can find the two pictures. Okay, not this one yet. This one. Okay, now the house itself doesn't look like it's very nice. It's not a nice word to say. Let me just say that the picture does not do justice to this house. This is actually a very beautiful house. The picture it's not well pictured. The angle is wrong. This is actually a corner of the house, and the house is actually lengthwise into the paper this way on the diagonal. So this is actually basically just one little section of the house. The reason the picture was taken this way is to show the damage. Now, where is the damage? Well, before I show the damage, maybe you'll be able to tell where the damage is before I point it out, other than what's on the ground. I'll talk about that later. Let me say that this house is built of concrete, and no wood is used in the structural element of this house. So this house, along with others of the neighborhood, like the one across, have withstood 200 kilometer an hour winds. The base of the house, it's not crawl space, even though it looks high. This is a concrete slab. This is a porch area. It's tiled. The entire house is tiled from wall to wall. It's wall-to-wall tiles. I believe the size is about, I would estimate it as about 1,500 square feet max. It's a 3-bedroom house, large enclosed kitchen, large bathroom, and then another half bath. So between, I'd say, 1,200 to 1,500 square foot house. And the remarkable thing is, when I had entered this house a couple of years ago, I noticed that the walls in between the rooms are not drywall. They are actual walls. They're actual outside walls inside. In other words, it's also cinder blocked within the house. What that means is that the house is essentially, it is fireproof. Because even if there was a fire that were to break out in one area of the house, it won't go very far because, first of all, what's going to burn other than draperies? And there's no drywall. So it's very nice to have a house that's this well constructed. So now, what did get damaged? So this is concrete. What got damaged is up here, the roof. Okay, the weak point in the structure of this house is the roof. Why? The roof is made of metal sheeting on the outside, and this metal sheeting actually got lifted up and got shifted. It didn't actually get torn off. It got lifted up and shifted such that there was water leaking in 4 places inside this house. Now, luckily, since there's no drywall, since the walls are concrete walls, they're painted, but they're concrete, there was no inside damage to the house. Because if you would have water leaking in 4 areas inside the house and in other types of houses, there would be extensive damage. And because the floor is tiled, again, there was no damage on the floor. Now, having said that, the roof should have been better built. It's kind of an injustice to this type of house, such a solid house, to have such a flimsy roof. They could have done a lot better on the roof. But anyway, that was the damage. The other damage is, so that was the only damage to the house itself. What's on the floor is not part of the house. It's part of a gate. Okay, so this, okay, what are we looking at here? This is a picture of the house across the street. It's, also it didn't get damaged because, again, it's concrete. The walls are concrete walls. What is laying on the floor here is a gate in polyvinyl chloride, PVC, polyvinyl chloride. The neighbor had a similar gate in wrought iron. Now, the wrought iron gate did not get damaged for several reasons. The wrought iron had designs in it. It was basically, how should I say, it's hollow. It's not hollow, but it's more of an airy design where it doesn't pose resistance to wind. The wind goes through it. So when the wind goes through it, it didn't knock it off. Plus, the wrought iron was much more, it was much more secured to the cement. So this is cement. Everything that got blown off is plastic, PVC, plastic, or wood, and none of the cement got blown off at over 200 km/h winds, so winds in excess of 124 miles an hour. This is something to keep in mind when building houses. And even if the house is a wood frame, at least if it has brick veneer on the outside, it will withstand winds more than a house that doesn't have brick on it. The least people can do is to build houses with brick on the outside. What eventually, hopefully, will be done little by little, as change takes time, is houses will all be built with cement, with cinder block, and wood will be used, but in a decorative way, such as decorative/functional, such as solid wood doors or solid wood cabinets, but not for structural elements of the house. I think humanity has to learn its lesson, and I really hope that the era of Little House on the Prairie, while it was good back then, I hope things evolve to go in the more stronger sense versus in the flimsier sense. This house is not an antique, by the way. This house was built, I believe, in 2006. And as I said, this picture does not do it justice. It's way more beautiful than what this picture has shown. Also, the lighting is very bad. So, anyway, take care, and hopefully there will not be more devastating hurricanes. And if so, please, builders, promote cement, promote cinder block cement, brick. Do as much as possible so that the wood building mafia can be eliminated altogether. Thank you very much.